Matthew chapter 5 verse 44. But I say up unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Man, we could do some more of this today, couldn't we, with what's going on? But anyway, enough of that. Today, I'm doing a new direction with Silverpunk. We're going in a new artistic direction, and today I'm going to do a silver pourer course, because that's what I do, and we're also going to incorporate it into kind of a diorama, which you can see here. And that little verse there is what it's all about. So let's get straight into the build and I'll show you what I'm doing. So this is a starting point, and this was in my head at this stage. It was just going to be a silver panel. I've been doing a bit of a collection called the Cathedral of Sorrows, and it's all down this kind of religious, dark side to religion theme. And this was going to be called the Dark Priest, and it was just going to be one of those. But things evolve as you go. And I come across a gallery online. One of my friends was talking to me about it, and they're called Castle Fine Art. I'll put a link below in the description so you can have a look. And I've come across a couple of artists. One of them, it was some a chap was doing some paintings of some really cool Peaky Blinders artwork, and I just thought they're so cool. And obviously I'm from Birmingham, and the actual murals are up by the Grand Central, the train station, and they're absolutely superb. So I went down kind of a rabbit hole. I seen these paintings, and I had to look at the gallery where he was, which is Castle Fine Art. As I said, there's a link below, so you can go and check it out and see what I'm talking about. But then just going through their website, there's some really cool stuff, and I found another couple of artists. One of them was called Nick Jolly, and he makes these wonderful little. They're so cool. They're like miniature figures, miniature sculptures, and they're like framed up in like these cool box frames. And he's done. They're just so cool. He's just so cool. You've got to check him out and have a look for yourself. And it really inspired me. He's done like one on "Don't Look Back in Anger" by Oasis. And they've got all these little figures doing different things, and they're so much fun, and it's so cool. And he's done other ones like space rockets and everything done with. I don't want to use too many drug references, but it's just really cool. If you go and check it out, his work is so thoughtful and inspiring. And there was another chap I found whilst scrolling through the website called Dan Lane. Now, he does some really cool sculptures, and he uses skulls a lot, so it's right up my street because, as you know, silver pourers, we love a skull. And again, he does some really cool sculptures about skulls and butterflies and flowers, how we all go back into nature and that type of thing. And it really inspired me. And I thought, well, you know what, let's try and push this a little bit further. Rather than just doing a panel, let's see if I can incorporate this into some kind of sculptural form, or some kind of, something a bit different to the norm that I normally do. Now, for years, I've been watching on YouTube guys and girls do really cool dioramas. You've probably seen them yourself if you're into that type of thing, the model making. They do like submarines underwater, or they'll do like, I don't know, like the big crocodiles jumping over, with ships going over them and stuff. You know what it's like, all sci-fi ones, Star Wars dioramas. And I was just thinking, can I bring a bit of thought to this and incorporate this into kind of a more sculptural, mixed media type of art thing? And that's where I've gone with it. As you've seen at the very beginning of the video, I was popping some holy water into a little vial. So this has been thought about, and this is the journey through it, and it's all new for me, this type of style. So it'd be good fun to see how it goes. And this is the pour now. As you see, I'm just getting ready for the pour, and I'll come back to you once it's all done. Now, I mean, how cool does that look? There was a hell of a lot of smoke, as you can see, but that's nothing to worry about. And the flames coming out the top, that's just because I used some real nice fresh sand, some with a lot of oil in, so that's why it was a bit more smoky than usual. Look at that lot. It's just the oil burning away in the sand. And now we just get it over for the quench, and here we go. I've saved the quench. There's a bit of background noise because I've had a garden full of kids at the time, but There we go. How cool was that? I know a couple of you out there love the quench, so I had to keep that bit in. And yeah, as I was saying, this is how the diorama come about, just taking influence from other artists. And I think it's really cool when you look at other people's work and you kind of put your spin on it or take little bits from here and there and you get your own ingredients and go for it. And obviously I love doing the silver panels as standalone pieces, but this time I thought it'd be nice to try and incorporate it into something else. And I've got some other cool ideas. I've got a really cool Viking themed one. I've got on the go. I've tried a couple of ideas with it, but it hasn't quite come out. So I'm reluctant to show that at the moment. But once I've got it where I want it, I think it's going to be really cool, that one. And once the silver panel's done, as you can see here, I'm just cleaning it up. This is my normal process. So once all this is cleaned up and done, I'll get on to actually making the setting for it to sit in the actual diorama piece. And that's like 3D printed, and it actually uses some really cool stuff I've sourced. I wanted to fuse lots of different things together because I use the antique process of silver casting, which is hundreds, thousands of years old. I wanted to use some antique stuff in the actual finished piece. So the paper you can see on the bottom of the diorama is actually from a Bible. It's actually printed over 100 years ago from a King James Bible, and also the little passage Matthew 5:44 on the actual cross is again from that Bible. And I wanted to incorporate antique pieces in with the modern 3D printing that I was doing. And just on the screen there was a little beetle running about on my worktop on my bench, so I had to get rid of him before I carried on. But yeah, I wanted to like fuse the antiquities and new stuff, and I just thought it all comes together nice because it fits in with the silver pouring. Me using an ancient technique to make the panel, but I also fuse it with modern 3D printing, so it just all fits in. It all comes together nicely. And yeah, so you've got the paper, and there's a little vial which you'll see in a minute, which I was filling at the start of the video with the holy water in. And again, that's over 100 years old. That's Victorian. And it's just all come together nicely. All the parts come together nicely, as you'll see in a minute. Here I'm just finishing the panel, just getting it sanded up and ready to crack on with stuff. So the silver panel come out really cool. I was so pleased with it. And of course it had stand alone as a piece, but I wanted to add it to the diorama. And as you can see the page from the Bible now glued in position. And now I'm just trying to get some holy water into this little vial. Now I was going to go round and ask my friend, the local vicar, if he would bless. I was going to take a bottle of Evian round or something and ask him if he would turn it into holy water to bless it for me. But I don't think he'd be too impressed with what I was going to do with it. So I decided against that. So I had to, unfortunately, go online and source my own holy water, as you can see here out the bottle. But yeah, when I bump into the vicar, I might just kind of see where the land lies. I'm not sure whether he would or not. It's I don't know. It might be a bit of a dodgy thing to ask a vicar. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm filling it up, and it had its problems. As you can see, I had to get one of these dropper things to get it in there because the vial was that small. It was going to go everywhere. But I managed to do that. But then I had a bit of a disaster, which is coming up now. Trying to glue the cork stopper in position, so obviously none of the water gets out. I got the glue everywhere. I should have used a little brush, but no, I just went for it, as you'll see in a second. I just got my super glue, and literally, I only stuck my fingers to everything. It just all come out. Here we go. Yeah, and instead of stopping, I was like, oh no, we'll carry on with this. And you'll see it's all over my fingers, and I did, off camera, get my fingers almost stuck together. So there you go. It was just horrendous. But we got there in the end. I need to think about how to do that a bit better. But there's a diorama. We got the holy water in the vial, so that's going nowhere. Everything's in place. We just got to add the silver panel. There it goes, the final piece of the puzzle. And I'm just so pleased with it.